Northwestern at Iowa. So we've got the 86th meeting between these two teams. This is our oldest matchup of the weekend without a trophy. Iowa leads the series 55-27-3, and Iowa is favored by 11 points in this game. Northwestern, as you can see, is 1-6. And they still have better stats than Iowa, except for the win column. It's bizarre. Northwestern has to win out to be bowl eligible, and they've got Ohio State still on the horizon, so that's not happening. So we already know Northwestern, unless they have a miracle game against Ohio State, they're not going to a bowl game. So normally we'd say a team with nothing to lose is a dangerous team, but in this case, they wouldn't even spoil Iowa's season. So it won't even matter in that respect. They actually showed some life against Maryland last week. For the first half, Northwestern is just fighting for pride now. The win might not mean anything on the season, but just getting a win might restore some, I don't know, confidence to the program, or hope, maybe a little bit of hope for the program if they can at least win one more game. But how do they get this win against Iowa?
You know, it's kind of crazy thinking about Northwestern as a Big Ten team, just because like they're kind of that team that come out of nowhere every couple of years and win some games that they shouldn't. But when it comes down to it, I don't know, like, and it's with all due respect to Northwestern, the fan base, love Pat Fitzgerald. He's an awesome coach. I don't know what their expectations really are on a year-to-year basis. And that would, I would be interested to know if anyone over there is really all that disappointed, or if they're just kind of like, yeah, well, you know, but I'd be interested to know that. But I mean, for this particular game, they just need to play mistake-free football and keep control of the ball. You know, they don't need to score a ton of points to win. Iowa's proven over and over again that they can't really score at all. So Northwestern just needs to keep the ball out of Iowa's defense's hands, because they seem to be scoring more points than their offense right now.
Scoring, yeah.
So I'm not sure how Northwestern's defense is necessarily going to do, because like they're nothing to write home about. But like I said, neither is Iowa's offense. So I think playing field position and keep away with the ball is probably enough for Northwestern to maybe sneak out a victory here. I mean, it's probably going to be close. I don't see them winning a blowout per se, but talking about pride, I know we'll talk about Iowa in a second, but I think that Iowa's defense might be done.
Ooh,
maybe.
That'll be disastrous for Iowa.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to point out, I just looked it up on our Team Rivalry website. Northwestern has been to the Rose Bowl twice. So they did have a couple of good seasons, but this was in 1949. They played UCLA. They beat UCLA 20-14. And then in 1996, they played against Southern California, USC, and they lost 41-32.
They showed up.
They showed up. Yeah.
They showed up.
So they've got something there. And I realize the Rose Bowl isn't the granddaddy of the bowl games anymore, but you know, they have been there twice.
They do have more Big Ten title game appearances than Michigan.
Oh yeah. How many more? They've been.
Sorry to bring the mood down.
No. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember how many times they've been. Okay, they've been to it twice. Yeah. So Michigan's been once, they've been twice. And obviously they lost to Ohio State both times.
Yeah, obviously. But they've also got more appearances than Penn State. So
good.
Yeah.
All right. The other side of the equation for this game is Iowa. Iowa has 3 losses in a row, and their season really hasn't developed any momentum at all. The defense, as we said, the defense scores more than the offense, and they have to win 3 out of the next 5 to be bowl eligible. Their upcoming schedule includes Purdue, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Nebraska, not to mention Northwestern this weekend. They can probably beat Northwestern and Nebraska, maybe Minnesota. I don't know. Maybe Purdue. I don't know. I don't think so. So a bowl game is not necessarily off the table, is it?
I don't know. I mean, think it's off the table. They're 4-3, and I'm looking at, I mean, Northwestern's 5, Nebraska's 6. Okay, so yeah, a bowl game's not off the table. All right, but it doesn't. Iowa's on a whole different level of bad right now. So I mean, the first offensive play against Ohio State was an interception, and then Alex Padilla comes in place for Spencer Petras, and I'm pretty sure his first pass was an interception as well. So they can't do anything on offense, and I get Ohio State's defense is much improved. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're at a point in the season where you're trying to play for pride. Yeah, a bowl game is still on the table. I assume Iowa has something left in the tank to beat a team that's 1-6. I would assume that they'd also have enough left in the tank by season's end to beat a very bad Nebraska team. But there's a scenario where they don't. And I'm concerned that might be what happens. So I think that this game will be nice for them because it'll help get them some confidence, because I really think that they'll beat Northwestern, even if I'm not like, well, I just said I really think that I'm pretty sure they'll beat Northwestern, even if I'm not like totally confident in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a clue as to what that's going to mean for the rest of the season, because Iowa was supposed to go to the Big Ten title game.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Like we said, any other season, if Iowa is facing a 1-6 Northwestern team, it should just be a total blowout.
Yeah. Not close.
With Iowa being as unpredictable as they are this year, and with their defense scoring so many points.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's some of these games. It's just like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. This is just bizarre.
If the defense doesn't go on strike for the last few weeks here, I could see them pulling 3 wins out: Northwestern, Nebraska, and then Wisconsin.
All right. You think they can beat Wisconsin?
No.
I mean, Wisconsin has turned around.
Yeah, they kind of, I mean, that whole Michigan State thing was a thing, but they did just beat Purdue. So that's a good point. I'm going to say definitely 2, but maybe 3. And I'm looking more so at Minnesota now, but
all right.
I don't know. That depends on what Minnesota feels like later in the season, but we'll get to them.
So the team rivalry top secret score predictor has this one pretty close. We've got Iowa 14, Northwestern 7.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Jeez, we're gonna have an interesting week.
Yeah.
Because I've got a pretty close one here. So I've got Iowa, I guess, 17-7.
17-7. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Pretty tight on that one.